Air travel is one of the fastest and most convenient ways to get anywhere. But here's the truth, most passengers still miss the small secrets that can make a flight cleaner calmer, cheaper, and a lot more comfortable. Whether this is your first flight or your 100th, these are the air travel tips experienced flyers use to avoid discomfort, save money, and stay one step ahead before problems even begin. So before you book your next seat, order your next drink, or touch that tray table, here are the simple flying secrets every traveler should know. Let's start with the seat many passengers love for the view, but often regret once the cabin gets cold. Number 1. The window seat has one hidden problem. Window seats feel like the best choice on a flight. You get the view, a little more privacy, and you do not have to stand up every time someone wants to pass. But there is one thing many passengers do not realize until the plane is already in the air. The window seat can feel much colder than the rest of the cabin. At cruising altitude, the air outside the aircraft can become extremely cold. That cold can transfer through the plane's wall and window area, which means the passenger sitting next to the window often feels the chill first. It can be even worse on summer trips, when you may board wearing light clothes because the weather outside is warm. The simple fix is to prepare before you sit down. If you choose a window seat, keep a light jacket, scarf, or extra layer in your personal item. And if the cabin gets too cold, politely ask the crew whether a blanket is available. A window seat can still be a great choice. Just do not choose it thinking comfort is guaranteed. Number 2. Be careful with coffee and tea on the plane. A hot coffee or tea can feel comforting during a flight, especially early in the morning or on a long trip. But on an airplane, hot drinks may not always be the smartest choice. The reason is not the coffee itself, it is the water. On many flights, coffee and tea are made using water from the aircraft's onboard tanks. Those tanks are not always cleaned as often or as thoroughly as passengers might imagine. That is why some flight attendants avoid drinking airplane coffee or tea themselves. So if you want to play it safe, choose bottled water juice or a sealed drink instead. It is a small decision, but it can help you avoid worrying about what is inside your cup. This does not mean every hot drink on every plane is dangerous. But when you are trapped in a cabin for several hours, comfort is not just about what tastes good. It is also about choosing what gives you peace of mind. Sometimes the smartest travel habit is not ordering more, it is knowing what to skip. Number 3. The dirtiest spot may be right in front of you. Most passengers assume the bathroom is the dirtiest place on the plane. But surprisingly, the surfaces closest to your seat can be just as bad, sometimes worse. The tray table in front of you is used by hundreds of people. Passengers eat on it, place phones on it, rest their hands on it, and sometimes use it for things you would never want near your food. The seatback pocket is not much better. It often becomes a temporary trash bin for tissues, wrappers, napkins, and whatever the previous passenger did not want to carry off the plane. That is why one of the smartest things you can bring is a small pack of disinfectant wipes. Before you settle in, wipe down the tray table, armrest, seatbelt buckle, and screen if your seat has one. And one more rule, never place food directly on the tray table. Use a napkin wrapper or your own clean surface. It only takes a few seconds, but it can make your whole flight feel cleaner and more comfortable. Number 4. Morning flights can save you from bigger problems. If you have a choice, morning flights are often the smarter option. Most travelers think flight time only matters because of convenience. But the later your flight is, the more chances there are for delays to build up throughout the day. One delayed aircraft can affect the next route, then the next crew, then the next boarding time. By afternoon or evening, those small problems can turn into a long chain of frustration. Morning flights usually start with fewer delay problems because the aircraft and crew are often beginning their schedule fresh. That gives you a better chance of leaving on time. There is another benefit too. The air is often smoother earlier in the day. Turbulence can still happen at any time, but many travelers find morning flights calmer and easier to handle. So if you do not like rushing, waiting, or sitting at the gate wondering what is happening, look early when you can. A morning flight may not sound exciting, but it can quietly protect the rest of your trip. Number 5. The back of the plane may get better service. Most passengers try to avoid the back of the plane. They think it means getting off later, sitting closer to the galley, or dealing with more noise. But there is one hidden advantage: the crew may be able to help you more easily. When you sit toward the back, flight attendants are closer to the galley, where extra drinks, snacks, blankets, and supplies are usually stored. If you ask politely, it may be easier for them to bring you something without walking through the entire cabin or making every other passenger notice. Up front, small extras can be harder to offer quietly because more people can see what is happening. In the back, the crew may have a little more flexibility. Of course, this does not mean you are guaranteed special treatment, but if comfort matters more than being the first one off the plane, the back rows can sometimes be a surprisingly smart choice. You may leave the aircraft a few minutes later, but your time in the air could feel a lot easier. Number 6. Don't fully inflate your travel pillow. A travel pillow can make a long flight much easier, especially if you want to rest without waking up with neck pain. But if you use an inflatable neck pillow, there is one mistake to avoid. Do not fill it all the way. During the flight cabin, pressure can change. If your pillow is pumped up too tightly, it may become uncomfortable around your neck. In some cases, it can even expand enough to feel stiff, awkward, or unsafe to use properly. The better option is simple: leave a little space inside. Inflate it just enough to support your neck, but not so much that it feels hard like a balloon. A good travel pillow should gently hold your head in place, not squeeze your neck or force your posture into an unnatural position. This is one of those tiny travel details most passengers never think about until they are already uncomfortable. But once you know it, you can make your flight feel much more relaxed. Comfort in the air is not always about expensive upgrades. Sometimes it is about using simple items the right way. Number 7. Special meals can be a smarter choice. Most passengers wait until the food cart reaches their row, then choose between the standard options, usually something like chicken pasta or whatever is left. But many travelers do not realize they may have another option before the flight even begins ordering a special meal in advance. Depending on the airline and route, you may be able to request meals such as vegetarian, kosher, gluten-free seafood, or other special options when you manage your booking or check in online. And here is why that matters. Special meals are often served earlier than regular meals, and in some cases they can feel fresher or more carefully prepared. You do not always need a strict dietary reason to choose one. Sometimes it is simply a way to avoid being stuck with the last remaining meal choice after everyone else has ordered. The key is to request it before the deadline because you usually cannot decide once you are already on the plane. It is a small step before your trip, but on a long flight, better food timing can make a big difference. Number 8. Shorts may feel comfortable, but they are not always smart. Shorts can seem like the perfect airport outfit, especially when you are flying from somewhere warm or heading to a summer destination. But once you are on the plane, they may not be the best choice. Airplane seats are used by hundreds of passengers every week, and most cabins are cleaned quickly between flights, not deeply cleaned after every single passenger. That means your bare skin may be touching a seat that has seen sweat, spills crumbs, and whatever the last traveler left behind. There is also the temperature problem. Cabins can get cold quickly, especially on longer flights. What felt comfortable at the gate can suddenly feel uncomfortable once the aircraft is in the air. A better choice is jeans joggers or lightweight long pants. They protect your skin, keep you warmer, and still allow you to move comfortably through the airport. Flying comfortably is not just about soft clothes. It is about choosing clothes that protect you from the realities of the cabin. Number 9. Bring a pen for international flights. On many international flights, passengers may need to fill out customs forms, arrival cards, or declarations before landing. And somehow, when those forms are handed out, half the cabin suddenly realizes they do not have anything to write with. That is when people start asking strangers waiting for the crew or trying to borrow one pen that is being passed from row to row. It is a small problem, but when you are tired, landing late, or arriving in a new country, small problems feel bigger. Keep one simple pen in your personal item, not buried deep in your suitcase, but somewhere easy to reach. It helps you fill out forms quickly, avoid the awkward search, and walk off the plane feeling prepared instead of rushed. Sometimes being a smart traveler is not about knowing a secret airport trick. It is about remembering the tiny item everyone else forgets. Number 10. Sit over the wing if you hate turbulence. Turbulence can make even experienced travelers feel uneasy. The plane may be completely safe, the pilots may be fully in control, but when the cabin starts shaking, it is hard not to feel tense. One simple seat choice can help choose a seat over the wing. That area is closer to the aircraft's center of gravity, so it often feels more stable than seats near the front or back of the plane. You may still feel movement, of course, because turbulence can affect the whole aircraft. But over the wing, the bumps are usually less dramatic. This is especially helpful if you are a nervous flyer, traveling with an older family member, or simply want the smoothest ride possible without paying for a premium seat. So, next time you choose your seat, do not only look at legroom or the view. Look at where the seat is located on the plane. A quieter, steadier flight may begin with one smart click on the seat map. Number 11. Download the airline app before you leave home. Before you even arrive at the airport, there is one simple thing that can give you more control over your trip. Download your airline's app. Many travelers wait until something goes wrong before they start looking for updates. But by then, they may already be standing in a long line, rushing to the wrong gate, or wondering why boarding has not started. The airline app can help you avoid that confusion. It can show gate changes, delay updates, boarding times, baggage information, and sometimes even let you rebook faster if a flight is canceled or changed. It can also keep your boarding pass on your phone, which is useful if you do not want to carry extra paper or risk losing it in the airport. Of course, your phone battery matters, so do not rely on the app alone without keeping your device charged. But when used properly, it can become one of your best travel tools. In a busy airport, information is power. And the sooner you have it, the calmer your trip feels. Number 12. Bring an empty bottle through security. Airport water is expensive, and once you are past security, it is easy to feel trapped into buying whatever the nearest shop is selling. But you do not have to. Bring an empty reusable bottle in your carry-on. As long as it is empty when you pass through security, you can usually take it with you. Then, after the checkpoint, fill it at a water fountain or refill station near your gate. This one habit saves money, but it also keeps you comfortable during the flight. Airplane cabins are dry, and waiting for the drink cart is not always enough, especially on long flights delays or early boarding when you may sit for a while before takeoff. Having your own water nearby means you are not depending on tiny cups or expensive airport bottles. It is simple, cheap, and practical. And once you start doing it, you will wonder why you ever paid airport prices for water in the first place. Number 13. Don't trust airport outlets. A dead phone at the airport is more than just annoying. It can become a real travel problem. Your boarding pass may be on your phone. Your gate updates may be on your phone. Your hotel address, rideshare app, family messages, and backup travel plans may all depend on that little screen staying alive. But airport outlets are not always reliable. Sometimes they are already taken. Sometimes they are hidden in awkward places. And sometimes they simply do not work when you need them most. That is why a charged power bank is one of the smartest things to keep in your carry-on. It gives you control when the airport is crowded, when your gate has no open outlets, or when a delay forces you to wait longer than expected. Just make sure your power bank is charged before you leave home and keep it in your carry-on, not checked luggage. In modern travel, battery power is not a luxury. It is part of your backup plan. Number 14. Search flights without letting prices follow you. When you are planning a trip, you may check the same flight more than once. Maybe you look at it in the morning, come back later, then check again the next day. And sometimes it feels like the price has suddenly gone up just because you showed interest. That is why some travelers prefer searching in private or incognito mode. It can help reduce tracking from cookies and search history. So travel websites have less information about what routes you have been checking again and again. This does not guarantee that prices will stay low. Airfare changes for many reasons: demand, seat availability, route, popularity, timing, and airline pricing systems. But using private browsing and clearing cookies can still give you a cleaner search when comparing options. The bigger lesson is this: do not panic buy just because a price moves once. Compare carefully, check more than one site, and search with a clear browser when you want a fresh look. Smart booking is not about luck. It is about staying calm before the airline gets your money. Number 15. Check the seat map before you choose. Choosing a seat should not be a random click. Many travelers look at the seat map, pick whatever is available, and hope for the best. But two seats that look almost identical online can feel completely different once you are on the plane. Some seats have extra legroom. Some do not recline. Some are too close to the bathroom where people stand in line during the flight. Others may be near the galley, where noise and light can make it harder to rest. That is why checking a seat map site before you choose can be so helpful. It can show you which seats are better, which ones have problems, and which ones you may want to avoid. A few minutes of research can protect you from hours of discomfort, because once the plane takes off, you cannot easily change a bad seat. But before the flight, one smart choice can make the entire journey smoother, quieter, and more comfortable. Flying does not have to feel stressful, expensive, or uncomfortable. Most of the time, a smoother trip comes from small choices made before the problem begins. Choose your seat with care. Keep yourself clean and prepared. Bring the simple items others forget. Protect your phone battery, stay hydrated, and do not assume every airport or airplane habit is automatically the best one. None of these tips are complicated, but together they can change the way your next flight feels from start to finish. So before your next trip, remember this: smart travelers are not lucky. They are prepared. If you found these tips helpful, subscribe to Flying After 60 for more simple travel advice that helps you fly with confidence, comfort, and peace of mind.